before we get started, just make sure that you guys either sign in with this QR code or the link in the description. All you have to do is sign in with that link and it lets us know it goes through our referral. So it just basically adds another person that's done it through a referral. It really helps the club and our school. So please do that. Thank you. Also, guys, just a reminder that the IBMZ online career fairs are going to be coming up soon. We have the dates on screen, and if you're a Western student, it's going to be April 12th. And just know that you need to get your Xplore badge, just the concepts. So, keep doing that, and we hope to see you there. All right, now we are going to be doing the REXX module of Xplore. All right, so before we get started, I'm sure most of you probably have not heard of REXX. A very high level language. I think if you were to show it to somebody who doesn't know how to program, they would probably be able to tell you roughly what the program does. It's used for things like processing data, generating reports, and automating repetitive tasks like typical mainframe stuff. And it's also known for its ease of learning and readability, very accessible to everybody, and it's commonly used on mainframe systems, but also has implementations for other platforms. Um, so yeah, let's get into the module. So first we have to install the Zoe command line interface. So far we've done the Zoe VS Code extension, and we've done Unix system services. This is just another way to talk to the mainframe. So you need to install it for Mac OS and for Windows. There are different installations. So check Xplore, check the Xplore slides, and if you need to copy this, it's all in Xplore. All right, so first things first, I'm on Windows, so I'm going to be doing the Windows one. When you open up a terminal in VS Code, you can see it opens PowerShell. We want command line. So type CMD, it switches to command line. You can see this thing switched over here. We're now in the command line interface. And we are going to install the Zoe command line interface. So npm is Node Package Manager. If you guys have used JavaScript frameworks for whatever, you probably know what this is. You had to install Node.js in the first module, and it's just a very useful tool for installing packages from the web. So you can see once we do that, it's installing. All right. Um, okay, perfect. I already had it, so you can see I guess made an update. They removed a package, but yeah. So you guys will see if the full thing got installed. To switch to the Zoe command line interface, we just type Zoe, and you can see that it's welcome to the Zoe command line interface with a bunch of commands. We're only going to get into a few of them today, but yeah, let's get started. So um, we'll move on to the next step. So first things first, let's do a high-level query on our data sets. So whatever you guys are using, do your user ID and then all the public data sets here. Enter. And then we're going to go into our source file. So source is where all of the public source code is. If you guys remember from JCL, that's where the COBOL code is. So let's find our source. Oh, we're looking for the public one. Source. Okay. So we're looking for two programs, guessnum and sumrex. So guessnum is here. Actually, I don't want to show you guys the code. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, so we can see we have these. All we want to do is copy guessnum into our own source. So we're going to go to our user ID and then paste it into source. Don't change the name, just keep the name the same when it asks you. And then start copying this one. And then uh, open this up and make sure that you guys have these in your data set so we can access them through the Zoe command line interface later. Uh, so we need to execute the following command. Um, Zoe profiles create, and then we're creating a time sharing option profile. So it's really important here that you guys, when you do TSO-profile, we're going to get into what this means in a second, but you guys have to use the name of your data set. So mine is WCS Workshops. I think the default one is Xplore, like the one that they tell you to use. Um, and you'll be able to fix it. I'll show you guys how to fix it if it messes up, but nobody wants to do that. So You can see we started off with Zoe and we're creating a time sharing profile under this set of data sets. So let's enter. And yeah, it's saying that profiles created deprecated. I'm pretty sure that's just because the Explore slides are out of date. If you guys want to do some experimenting and see if you can find in the documentation what you should actually be using, but it's all right because it created the account anyway. We can see the attributes here. So let's move on to part two or part three. Um, so let's make sure that we have our profile set as defaults so that when we open Zoe, it just automatically defaults to this. So we need to enter two commands this time. Um, Zoe profiles set default ZOSMF and then just our profile, right? So this one just sets our default Zoe profile to our data sets, and then we got the same deprecated warning. Don't worry about that. And then the next one is just for the time sharing profile. So TSO. So our time sharing options profile set to WCS workshops as well. Um, and then this is where if you guys messed up, so you'll be able to tell if you messed up once we get into it and stuff starts not working. All you have to do is type Zoe profiles delete. That will get rid of everything. And then all you have to do is go back to this step and go to step three, step one. But skip this step. Please do not type this. Please, please, please do not type this if nothing happens. Okay. All right. On to step four. So now we get to run our first REXX code. So let's type in this command. We're going to do Zoe time sharing option, and we're going to issue the command execute um, our user ID. So 401 source, and then this is literally just the file that we copied over. So we just want to execute the file that we copied over into our source. So make sure you guys dash dash double dash SSM, and if we execute it, you can see we got greetings from Rex. Wow, how nice. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the source code of some Rex. So, I mean, there's not much to look at, I guess, but this is an example of how simple it is. There's like really no syntax at all. You're literally just say space and then whatever you want to say. Pretty cool in my opinion. Definitely want to do some more stuff with this. But yeah, now we are going to run an interactive Rex server. Now this is probably more practical because there aren't very many. I feel like it'd be more interactive than one-offs like that. So what we want to do is create a server address space to start and run the rex command until we are finished. Okay, so what an address space is it's essentially a space in memory on the mainframe where you're allowed to, well, use the memory, right? You can whatever you're doing, it's running on the mainframe and it stays up running. So we're gonna say Zoe time sharing options start address space, and then you can see we got this key. So we do need this key for later. So I would copy it and put it in your notes, or just like don't clear your terminal so you can scroll back up to it. But yeah, make sure you keep this key. Like I said here, uh, yeah, let's call it my address space key just for the next few steps. Um, so let's run the same Rex program that we did before, but we're going to direct the output to the address space. So I'll show you guys what that means, but let's just execute the command. So let's type out the command Zoe time sharing option send as, and then so we're going to send to the address space our key. So we're telling it where we want it to send data execute, and then we're just executing the exact same file for now. We're going to get to do something cooler in a second, but let's just do this. All right, so you may be thinking like, what even was that? This is the exact same thing as I just did. Why are you showing me this? Well, it's important that you know what a time sharing option is. It's another way that ZOS allows users to get data sets, run programs, and look at output. It's basically just the command line interface for ZOS. So when you send, if you guys get into the extended modules, you get to do the green screen stuff that all the old mainframers, not old, we'll say, well, I don't know what else to say, but they all like that stuff. It's like terminal, and essentially, whenever we send a command by right-clicking and clicking copy, and we copy a data set in VS Code, what it's doing, it's converting it into a command that is understood by the green screen, the ISPF terminal in the ZOS. So if you guys are interested in that, do this, do advanced, and then get into that, and you actually get access to it for a limited amount of time. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's while so a time sharing option, like I said, just a command line interface for ZOS. And while the address space is active, we're allowed to use system memory. Like think about like a mainframe. Like I don't know how much RAM it has. I think it's like 4 TB on the whatever Z15. That might be wrong, but you have like a massive amount of memory that you can use. So we don't get to experiment with it that much, but I'm about to show you guys an example. So let's I'm just gonna if you press the up arrow in terminal, it'll show your most recent command. And all we're doing is changing the file. If you guys remember, we did two files up here, guess num and sumrex. So this one we're gonna do is guess num. Um, so make sure you guys have your key in here and have it ready to execute. We're gonna execute it here. And all right, he's thinking of a number between 1 and 10. What is your guess? Okay, before we do that, I just want to look at the code. Um, so this is it's a really good example of how simple REXX is. It's saying what it wants to do. It picks a random number and it gives us one try. No, it doesn't give us one try. It starts us out at one try, and this is just a do while loop. It does it while our guess is not whatever number was selected. It pulls it, so whatever we type here, it pulls the input, and then if it does not equal secret, it adds a try. Okay, so this code is super simple. You could probably do some really cool stuff really easily with it if you wanted to experiment. So you could come into this file if you wanted and mess around. That's what I did. Um, so you guys should too, definitely. But yeah, let's start guessing the number. So to guess the number, we get to execute Zoe TSO send address space, and then we're using our key. So we're sending to this address space here that is defined by this key, like I said, dash dash data. And instead of doing execute, since we already have something running on the um, on the address space, all we're doing is our guess. So let's say I want to guess I don't know 3. If I get it first, then you guys have to like and subscribe. So let's see. But yeah, basically, since this is already running in the address space, the next data we send will be actually retrieved by it. It will be pulled, as you can see up here. Dang. Okay. Let's go again. Oh, okay. See, that's kind of crazy. I think I should still get a like and subscribe for that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the REXX module. Um, it was sort of just another way. It wasn't as much about REXX the language as it was about showing you guys another way to interact with the ZOS. So this we're getting closer and closer to the actual ISPF. And if you guys want to do that, you got to finish advanced and unlock extended. So um, yeah, let me know if you guys need help with anything. Um, but you know the drill. We have to submit the validation job, check REXX. So let's go to zxp.public.jcl and check. Where is it? A, B, C, D. All right, there it is. Check REXX1. So this is REXX1. Submit the job, and then it's active right now. Oh, beautiful. We got a code of 0000. So what that means is that we got it right. 000. Return code 000 is what you want to see in JCL. So we're going to be back in Xplore, take you to the rex1.pdf, and like always, the slides that we're going through are taken. Okay, this is supposed to say 10 to 12, but you can see the steps here, 9 to 11, and we're actually going through the steps we just take the key points. But if you guys are interested in this, interested in another form of CLI, and also for the installation, definitely check out the Xplore slides. But now that we're complete, we can check the JCL. So, all right, there it goes. Um, so yeah, that's everything. Now that you've done this, you have unlocked officially the wrap up module. So that's the next video. Make sure you check that out. It's like probably easily the most fun one that we do, just because you actually get to write a Python script that interacts with data sets on the mainframe using a library by IBM. So make sure you, and it's also the last one before you get your badge. So don't quit now. Um, yeah, thanks for watching.